Hey guys, I'm Maria, welcome back. So I'm a little bit behind on my movie bucket list series. I have been watching the movies, I just haven't sat down and filmed the videos. So I thought I could give you like a part 1, part 2 of the movies I've been seeing. The months I haven't recorded are April and May. I've seen the movies, and so I thought we could start with April and let you know what I thought of the movies I saw back then. I started out the month of April with a classic, From Here to Eternity, thinking it was going to be super romantic because of that iconic kiss on the beach, and I was very surprised at how dull this movie is. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's a classic or it's an old black and white movie. I actually love those. It was just not what I expected. The story takes place in Hawaii a couple of weeks before the attack on Pearl Harbor. It is a movie about two soldiers, both who fall in love with different women. One is the wife of his boss, basically, and the other one falls in love with what turns out to be a prostitute. You'd think it'd be very interesting, but just the characters are very flat. The romance and the chemistry is just not there. One of the main guys is a younger soldier and they want him to fight in some kind of like underground boxing matches, and he refuses because he basically kills his best friend and he doesn't want to go back to that anymore, and it's just like a constant struggle to get this guy to fight. The other guy is having an affair with his boss's wife. It all turns out to be just very anticlimactic. Honestly, I don't recommend it. I'm sorry if some of you are fans of the movie. I just thought pretty much the only thing that's worth watching is that one scene, and that's about it. The next movie I saw was Rocky 3 because apparently I always pick up the Rocky movies, and I was pleasantly surprised to say that for a third installment I really enjoyed it. Rocky 2 is a better movie, but I really like the struggle that Rocky faces in this third installment. He's very afraid, a lot of things have gone terribly wrong, his confidence is shaken when the death of a loved one occurs, and so Rocky is just very scared to go back in the ring, very scared to go back to being who he was, to being the champion, and I really like that. Not to mention that Apollo Creed comes back, but this time he's kind of on Rocky's side and he wants to help him out through all this trouble. And I mean, if none of that convinces you, there's always Eye of the Tiger, which is a great workout song and probably one of the best things of this movie. The next movie I was really looking forward to, that is My Neighbor Totoro. I've seen many of Miyazaki's movies, but every time I tell somebody, especially my best friends, that I have not seen My Neighbor Totoro, they just freak out on me and say that I have to watch it immediately. As most of Miyazaki's movies, the characters just pop out of the screen. The female characters are always so complex and wonderfully written, and there's always just some magical element tied to nature, tied to sort of the agricultural, rural side of Japan. So he creates this wonderful world in a forest of a house nearby where these girls move in with their dad, their mother is sick in a hospital nearby, and through all this family crisis and moving away and, you know, learning new things, going to a new school, worrying about their mother, they encounter their neighbor Totoro. However, story-wise, I felt like it was lacking so much, and I was not expecting that from a Miyazaki movie. There's so much detail into the characters and so much detail into this world. The story is kind of flat, there's not much going on, there's not much conflict, and in the end it just feels like a short episode of something that could have been really great. I just really wanted more. I think that was the problem. I thought there was going to be some kind of twist or something happening. That never happened. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it. I just kind of want more of this world and these characters. The next movie I saw is another classic, and that is The French Connection. I'm a little bit torn in my opinion of this movie because it's clearly really good. The story is fantastic, but something about it didn't really click for me. I did like the whole good cop, bad cop dynamic. I think it's probably one of the best ways it has ever been done. But just the story in general, the narrative and the pacing of the movie felt really slow for me. And in moments where there's no dialogue, where there's supposed to be tension building up in investigations, when the good guys follow the bad guys and the bad guys feel like they're being followed, it didn't feel like tension or suspense to me. It just bored me, and it wasn't as fantastic as I expected it to be. It kind of disappointed me, and it was possibly my fault. Maybe I just wasn't in the right frame of mind to watch this movie. Maybe it was just, I don't know, that particular day. I will try to watch it again. That being said, I think it's one of those movies that maybe you watch and that's it. You just say you watched it and don't necessarily want to ever watch it again. Now, my last movie for the month of April was Clockwork Orange. In my very first bucket list video where I listed all the movies, I mentioned that I kind of had seen it, but I kind of quit because it was a little too wacky for me and I just didn't know if I was going to enjoy it. I am very happy I gave it another chance because, oh my god, this movie is so freaking good. I love the narrator, I love his choice of words, I love how sophisticated and charming and even funny he is when he tells you what's going on. I love that it goes from you finding this guy and seeing that he's a very unrepentant criminal. And after he goes through the system and what could only be basically called torture, but they call it a treatment, he is actually repulsed and disgusted by crime. It's a physical reaction. And I love the perspective of society on criminals, the way we react to them, the way we so clearly judge people who have committed a very concrete interpretation of a crime, yet we don't self-analyze all the bad things that we do daily to people, to each other, the way we interact, because it's not considered legally a crime. There's so much to like dissect and analyze. I love Kubrick's direction in this. I absolutely love his wide angles and the way he includes the entire building and makes you feel very small, like the subject feels very small. And it's sort of to create this dreamlike, you know, altered version of the reality, so you're never entirely sure what's real and what's not. I really do think I'm going to make a video of this movie alone because I also want to read the book, and I believe that the book, when it came out and when Stanley Kubrick decided to adapt it, it didn't include the final chapter in the American version because it was too controversial or something. I'm not entirely sure. And so the ending of the movie is very different from the ending of the book, and that could be really interesting to compare. So I might use this movie in my book versus film series, and yeah, I hope you check it out when I do that. So guys, those are all the movies I saw in April. If you've seen any of these movies, let me know what you thought of them. Let me know if you disagree with me. I have absolutely no problem. Let me know in the comment section down below. You can also go to my letterbox. I am CineClub as well over there. I have the whole list of my bucket list movies if you want to send me any suggestions, if you want to see what I'm watching and which day and you want to watch it with me, you can go there and yeah, we can have a conversation about it. But that's it for this time, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and waiting for me to bring out this video. I will be releasing my May movies very soon as well, so I hope you stick around for that. Don't forget to subscribe so you get the notification. I will see you on our next movie date. Bye!